I don't like politicians for the most part. The vast majority of them, I think, are crooked. They're not truthful, and they make way too much money. And especially the promise of making gobs of dough afterwards and writing their memoirs by some ghost writer. I mean, how pathetic. I mean, it sickens me, the Democrats and Republicans. The whole political, this is reality. This is who's controlling our reality on a local grassroots community level. Yes, they're the ones that are infecting us with a disease called money love. I'm telling you, love and money far more than people. People are disposable, man. We're too many. We're too numerous. I mean, we got to save the planet. We got to cut back our carbon footprint, right? So, yeah, we don't need you anymore with technology, automation, robotics, on and on and on, right? The industrial age being in full bloom, we just don't need so many useless feeders. That's their attitude. So they're going to blame you for driving your car, heating and cooling your home, just the average person. Meanwhile, they're spraying the skies and not a whisper, radio silence, crickets on mainstream media about this. You can access the information online. Find out all about geoengineering. We got a guy locally here. He's an expert on it. Knows more than anybody I've ever known. Dane Wigington. You can go on his site and read about it. Great guy. Hell of a nice guy. Smart as hell. And you can read about it. The high altitude aerosolized spraying that's been going on, they're altering the weather. You think they don't think they can do it? They got all the money in the world. You can have as many jumbo jets filled with spray that you want up there, man. Okay, the theory is, well, put this aluminum concoction because you can aerosolize any metal. That's what they've done, essentially. And it's going to reflect the sunlight back and cool the earth. That's the theory that they're espousing. But they won't even tell you that on the mainstream media. But they're spraying aluminum. That campfire locally here in Paradise, just 15 minutes away from where I'm, 20 minutes away. All that aluminum, it's an incendiary compound. What they're spraying. You get all those pine needles and all that stuff is settled in there for years and years. And you get that kind of fire. You get the wind blowing. Hey, maybe that's part of the plan. I mean, 85 people or something died in that fire. Horrible. What a way to go, huh? So they're changing the climate, and they're fingering you and I, blaming us for what they're doing. It's man-made. Well, science says, it's man-made. They're spraying it. All these planes could be remote controlled. We know that technology has existed for one hell of a long time. So yeah, they don't even need pilots that have to compromise their own conscience in what they're doing, spraying this crap. And not only that, but aluminum causes brain damage. That's a well-known fact. It's a neurotoxin. And this is a mad, 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 mad world, friends, and nobody's going to convince me otherwise. This makes no sense, and these politicians have done this to us in concert with the money printers. They've been working in cahoots, hand in hand. They've done this to us, and we're in a lot of trouble, and we need to turn to God in repentance and start caring about the least of men. Like Christ said, you want to do something for me? Then you do it for the least of men. And if that's not some desperate homeless person, I don't know who it is. I mean, for God's sake, society, you, the taxpayer, you're willing to spend $100,000 a year approximately here in California to keep one inmate in jail for 1 year. Carjackers, home invaders, burglars, thieves of every type, murderers, rapists, child molesters. Need I go on and on? That's what you think is okay, not me. I hope you don't. I hope, but there is people that are obviously that's it. Just go along with it. Just accept this, and we know what's driving the crime, the vast majority of crime, even a crime that you would never associate having anything to do with money. They did a study up in Redding in Shasta County here nearby, and they said, well, they attribute the depressed economy to rapes being up. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I would have never thought of that. But if a guy can't afford to have a date, maybe they're right. I don't know. But I mean, I'm not saying that, because a guy takes a girl out on a date, he's, listen, let's not go there. But hey, you get the point, right? If he can't afford to court a woman, let's put it that way. That's more appropriate. But friends, listen, we're in this together. I'm on everybody's side. That does not mean I agree with evil men. I disdain their behavior, the way they think and operate. They're delusional. If they've sold their soul for a loaf of bread, I mean, even if they gain the whole world, like Christ said, what good is it if you don't have a soul? Who are you? What substance? You're nobody. You're nothing. You're no character. No nothing, man. You got no substance of any value. Your values are all screwed up. And there's a lot of people in this world with screwed up values, and that's the message we're getting, that's what you should have. You should put profit ahead of people. You care about number one, and that's it. You cannot worry about every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there. We've got socialism. We've got social welfare programs that are going to take care of them. The Democrats, we're trying to go socialist. We're trying to be, egalitarian. That's the image they want to project, the optics, but it's not true. They've done this to us too. Since the assassination of JFK, the last two presidents I like were JFK and Jimmy Carter, both Democrats. So nobody can say I'm a Democrat basher. I'm just saying, hey, let's get real. Let's get honest. That's the most important prerequisite, is just to be honest, because a little kid can understand the stuff I talk about. I'm just talking about simple, basic, logical things like fairness. Can we all agree that society should be fair? But we're so far removed from any semblance of fairness. With the pay imbalance, when we know that people getting cheated out of a living wage where they can live a middle class and be a homeowner, a reasonable standard of living that we would want for ourselves and we would want for our children, we say no because they work in a factory or the farm or some other unskilled job or job that doesn't take much education, then they deserve to be cheated, right? That's what you're saying. That's the way your mind works, not mine. I do not want to speak to God on that and say I defended that position. Oh my God, I'm not going to defend money. I can't wait till each and every form of money is gone, because that's where you want to be in the world of tomorrow. Get ready for that reality. Figure it out. Figure out how it's going to work. If every other creature that's far dumber than us, believe it or not the way we act, we're very immature, as it can do it, we can do it. Okay? So, just being honest. That's all I'm saying. Be honest. You want to be able to stand before God and give account for your belief system? Then at least be honest and say, God, give me the right opinion. Let me pray. We need to pray personally. It's a personal thing. And then come together and just demand fairness. I mean, for God's sake, the wealth imbalance in this country, the pay imbalance, it just makes no sense at all. To cheat people whose jobs are absolutely imperative to the welfare of society. We're going to justify, and then all these other people are useless pustules making millions and billions of dollars, and that if the whole bunch of them fell off the face of the earth tomorrow, we wouldn't miss them, wouldn't miss a beat. It's not going to slow down the trucks, the trains, the factory workers, or anybody else. You understand how maddening this is to me? I think, God, we've had anti-progress my whole life. By devaluing, debasing, diluting our dollar, our money. Okay, this is how they cheat people. This is how they steal from people. Do you understand? It's like you're in the sand. You're trying to run out of this pit called maybe debt or just an inability to save any money so you can buy a house, have a sense of financial security, right? But they keep dumping more sand in. That's how they do it, by raising your cost of living. Especially on essential human needs, you can't escape. It's not like electronics are going up, right? No, they get you by the throat. It's the cost of living. You want to continue to exist? You want to continue to live? You better crack that ever harder nut. You better reach that ever higher bar. Or else you see that homeless guy in soiled clothing slithering away under the bridge to sleep for the night? Bet you. If that doesn't put the fear of God in your soul, the God I serve, the God of money, then I don't know what does, right? That is the reality that so many people are living by. It's a fear-driven society, sick, twisted, perverted. You think I'm opinionated? I know you can see through the eyes of God. You do. Oh my God! If I was God, I'd say it's up, man. I've been as patient as I can with you bullies, you money-loving bullies and masters of misery for the masses. I'm done. You're separated. Just like if you had, they were all your kids. At some point, you got to say, no, these kids are willing to live and be fair, and they're willing to live in a world without any form of money and figure it out. Because money far too easily corrupts the hearts and minds of men. For God's sake, if we were going to learn how to coexist, contend with this entity we call money, for God's sake, wouldn't we have done it by now? Yes, we would have. We can't. And how many turds in the punch bowl does it take to ruin it? If one person just doesn't have to be smarter than nothing else, better than anybody else, nothing else, they get all the money. They could control everybody's life with the money, right? It's the stuff. They buy up all the stuff with the money they got. I mean, that's it. It's just about control, and it's sick. It's sick, man. It's sick. People go to school. They're not taught the basis for any morals. You come out, you got to follow all these laws of the church of the secular state, this draconian religion. It takes people's lives, says, hey, first degree murder, you did premeditated, it was malice aforethought. Okay, we're going to kill you. That's the wisdom of the secular state. That's it. So what you did was so wrong, but we're going to really show you that we believe it was all right because we've really thought this thing through, and we're going to kill you as a deterrent, we'll say. It's just a deterrent, right? For an eye for an eye, yeah, whatever, Killed, he deserves to die. I get it. What do you think? I don't get it? You think God doesn't get it? But we don't own anybody. We can't make that judgment. But yet the church of the secular state decides that. That's just the extreme. But there's all kinds of nuances in the laws. I mean, it never ends. We know that you got to watch your P's and Q's, or else you get in trouble. And you don't want to be in trouble with the church of the secular state. That's a religion you want to fear their God, because they can lock you up. You understand? Take all your stuff. Make your life miserable, destroy your reputation. I've never known a priest to even do that. I mean, maybe back in the day they did that sort of thing. They hated Christ, hated him for speaking the truth. They're going to hate you if you start speaking the truth. I mean, there's just that spirit out there. It's just that, good is spirit and evil is spirit. They're haters. They hate you if you try to be just a nice guy, love everybody, and say, I'm nobody's enemy. If you want to perceive me as your enemy, that's your issue. But the truth is, I know myself enough to decide my own reality and say, no, I'm no man's enemy. I'm not a threat to anybody. That's by choice, conscious, deliberate choice I make, like you can make, to be who you want to be. You put your own boundaries in place with God's permission. And you say, that's it. This is my character. I want to build. I want to have some substance. I want to be somebody. I want you to like me, God. I know you love me, but I want you to approve of me and like me. I want to be happy. And I want to convince other people to be happy because nobody goes this thing alone. We're all in it together. And if we're not pleasing God by the way we're thinking, in our hearts and our minds, our spirits and our souls, if it's not pleasing God, we think we can live an extravagant lifestyle and divorce ourselves from desperate people, better men and women than us. We don't know. Have we met them all? Suffering needlessly out in the cold when there's a glut of housing in America. I've done my own research, do yours. A glut of housing in America. Not affordable housing, but a glut of housing. Better men and women than us, suffering needlessly, sometimes dying out in the cold. And I'm going to face God and live an extravagant lifestyle. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm so scared of how many people are going to be caught off guard because their delusion had overtaken them, that they think it's okay to believe in this, the church of the secular state, this bad religion. Talk about a bad religion. Oh no. ever shifting laws. Oh no, there's no, it's just sand, man. You're building your house on sand and it's all, no way, man. We're here for a little while to get it together, get our values straight, get our belief system straight, man, and then it's judgment time for us.